share my story with you why I started shooting in RAW. So back in 2014 when I first bought my camera, I knew the option to click in RAW, but I was never convinced that why people shoot in RAW when there is the option to click in JPEG and you can save a lot more memory. JPEG photo only takes about 4 to 5 MB, whereas RAW photo takes about 20 to 25 MB. So you're almost saving 5 times so that you can click a lot more photos, right? That's correct, right? You can click more photos, but there is major drawback that I didn't know back then. When I started traveling more, when I started clicking more photos, when I started learning editing, then I got to know everything about highlights, shadows, exposure, when I started tweaking these things. And when I used to do in JPEG, sometimes I was not able to recover the photos. Let's say you're shooting against the sun, so you can either expose the background or expose the person, right? And when I used to edit those pictures and the photos looked bad, it's the same for every outdoor photography. You just cannot expose perfectly everything in the picture, so you always have to edit according to your taste, right? But whenever you're clicking in JPEG, you're telling your camera to compress the photo and add contrast, increase sharpness, and do all of the things that your camera does. And then you don't want to do it, right? You want to control everything when you're editing so that you can make the best out of it. And I know that you're not convinced by now, so I've clicked a lot of photos in the JPEG and the RAW option. So each camera has an option to click JPEG and the RAW at the same time. So I've clicked a lot of photos in that, and I'm going to show you how you can make a difference to your photos when you're editing. And trust me, by the end of this video, you will start shooting in RAW. So let me show you. Okay guys, so these are the bunch of photos. As you can see that each one has a RAW and JPEG for the same one, RAW and JPEG. So let me start with the first one. So this is the first photo. First, I'll just try to edit a RAW photo, and then I'll just show you the JPEG version, and then we'll compare then how much is the actual difference. So this is the RAW photo. I was exposing for the foreground and my background just doesn't look good. It's all washed out, so I'll just try to recover it. Let's say we just decrease the highlights. We just decrease the whites. And we just try to decrease the exposure. Oh, it's just looking dark. So okay, we don't change the exposure here. Let me use the graduated filter and just try to do something. Here we reset. You can use any software. I'm just using Photoshop RAW. That's just easy. You can use the Lightroom tool as well. You can edit your photos in Lightroom Mobile. You can just edit the RAW photos. So just decrease it. Let me add a contrast. Guys, just see the difference what we have done here. Let me show you the before and after. This is before, this is after, okay? For the time being, I'm just going to open this photo in Photoshop and we'll just keep it like this. Now let's go ahead and open the JPEG photo. Let's see that if you have clicked the same photo in JPEG, would you be able to recover this photo? So just hit Ctrl J, it will just create a new layer. And go here and open with camera raw filter. So let's just try that. Do the same thing, just try to decrease a little bit of exposure, highlights. And you can see that guys, I just decreased the highlights and it's not looking good. Let me use the graduated filter and let me show you. See, this is how the photo looks. And let me increase a little bit of contrast. So this is the photo in JPEG. So see guys, this is the JPEG photo and this is the RAW photo. What a major difference. See, we were able to recover the highlights in RAW and we were not able to recover it in JPEG. It just looks super bad. Now let's take another example. Now this is a RAW photo and let me just try to decrease the highlights. And let's say we use the same graduated filter. See, let's just decrease it a bit and increase a little bit of contrast. You can increase the highlights a bit, decrease shadows, increase a little bit of whites. Yeah, see that. To enhance that, let's do this. Okay, now let me just open this image in Photoshop. So guys, this is the RAW photo and let's go ahead and just do the same thing with the JPEG. So guys, this is a JPEG photo. I'm just gonna do the Ctrl J to create another layer. And you can open up the camera raw filter If you will just edit this photo in Lightroom, you will see all these effects like graduated ND filter, exposure, highlights, shadows. These are common on every software, so I'm just using Photoshop Raw here. Let's just try it. Decrease a little bit of exposure, decrease a little bit of highlights, and see it looks bad. Let's just try this. See, it saves the state, so exposure is same, -2.5. We have just done the same thing, same contrast, same highlights, same values, everything as we kept it for the raw. Now see that it looks super bad. Super bad. This is raw and this is JPEG. Just look at the highlights. It looks super bad. And here in this raw, it looks so good. So that's the difference, guys. And now let's go to the third example. So this is a drone photo. This is again a raw photo. I'll just use a graduated filter. Yeah, that's it. This is the one, and you can just change the temperature here as well. I'm just going to keep it here as 14. Now notice all these values, exposure -2.8, and everything is same. Now let me just open up this image in Photoshop and let's do the same thing on JPEG photo. Again, Control J, filter. I'm just putting in your head that you need to shoot in RAW by giving multiple examples. So let's just try this. Everything is same, guys. So let's just open it and now see the difference, guys. This is JPEG photo and this is RAW photo. See how we are able to preserve the highlights, and in this photo the highlights looks bad. We are not able to just see the highlights. You know, that's why you should shoot in RAW. I know that it's going to take extra space, but it's all worth it at the end for the kind of editing that you can do with the RAW. You know, that's why I take all these memory cards with me on every travel trip, because I remember one time when I went to Hamta Pass back in 2015 or 16, I just took 2-3 memory cards and it was full. I was not able to record everything, so that's when I decided no matter what, I am just going to take a lot of memory cards and shoot the max. I should never feel that I am just running out of space, so that I should shoot everything in JPEG and do not click everything. That's not gonna happen right now. And also, if you want to see how I edit my photos, I'm using my own presets to edit every photo. You can see that before and after. It just works on every kind of photos. I have 23 different presets that works on all the kind of photos, whether you're clicking in sunset or in rainy season. There are different kind of presets I have created, so you can just go to the link in the description and you can use my presets to edit your photos, or you can just use Lightroom to create your own presets. So guys, that's it from the video. I hope you learned something out of it, and if you did, hit a like button and let me know in the comments below if you have any suggestions for me for the future videos. And with that said, guys, I'll see you next time. Till then, take care. Bye bye. Dhanyavad.